We don't need the bloodline from the lower class.
Father of my daughter's fiancé looked at us as if we were trash. Today was our first meeting, yet he had constantly mocked us, calling us a poor single mother family. I could bear it if he ridiculed only me, but I couldn't stand him mocking my daughter. I was about to stand up and confront him, but my daughter stopped me.
I will move my savings to another bank if you're speaking like that.
The man is the head of a local bank. However, to my daughter's words, he laughed sarcastically and said, "Go ahead, do whatever you want." But half a month after this incident, his family would regret this for the rest of their lives. My name is Karen Robinson. My husband passed away when our daughter Mandy was in elementary school. Ever since, I've worked at a transport company and raised Mandy by myself. Mandy has started her own business and is managing it quite well. Although we live separately, we're just a 30-minute drive away from each other, so we often spend our days off together. However, lately I hadn't seen Mandy as much. Even when I ask her out, she often turns me down saying she's busy.
Mom, I want to marry a person I'm dating now.
My suspicion turned into certainty, and I was thrilled. While I'd miss Mandy when she gets married, I was more happy than sad.
That's great news. Please bring him over sometime.
And the young man Mandy brought home was truly wonderful.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Ethan Mitchell.
With a flushed face and nervousness, the young man greeted me while looking straight into my eyes. I was certain from the first look that he'd make Mandy happy. After that, the three of us had a pleasant conversation.
Speaking of which, I would like to meet your parents before the engagement. When should I meet them?
However, Ethan's face suddenly clouded.
About that,
What Ethan hesitantly revealed was quite surprising. Ethan's father is the head of a local bank and has always favored his talented elder brothers, often neglecting Ethan. Just before entering high school, Ethan left home and grew up at his uncle's place. Since then, he's been distant from his family.
if we meet them, I think they'll make you two feel bad.
Ethan said with a saddened expression, but not having a formal introduction.
We'll become relatives, and there will surely be occasions where we'll have to meet.
I was worried, imagining situations like having to introduce ourselves for the first time at places like a funeral. Seeing my concern, Ethan, with a determined face, said, "You're right. I'll handle the arrangements. I'll make sure to prevent any unpleasant situations as much as I can."
I'm sorry for asking too much.
No, it's okay.
At that time, I was too optimistic.
They're still family, right? They'll surely celebrate when you decide to get married. I'm sure we can understand each other if we talk.
I had such naive thoughts. Then on the day of the meetup, Mandy and I headed to the designated place. It was one of the fanciest restaurants in the state.
I'm nervous. It's my first time in a place like this.
Me too, honey.
Heart racing, we headed towards the room.
Excuse me.
And upon opening the room's door, "You're late. Can't poor folks tell time?" We were met with such a rude greeting.
Hey, Dad.
Quiet, Ethan. I came here today because you begged me to. Alright? And even Kevin took the time to come. You should be grateful, Ethan.
That's right. And even Kevin took the time to come. You should be grateful, Ethan.
A dressed couple threw sarcastic remarks at Ethan. Beside the couple sat a young man glaring maliciously at Mandy.
I came to see Ethan's fiancée for myself. Seems like she's just right for Ethan's level.
What did this guy just say? The shock of such harsh words left us speechless.
I heard you're a single mother?
Well, yes, why?
Ethan's father asked, and I replied without thinking. Then he chuckled disdainfully.
Did your husband cheat on you? It's a woman's own fault when she gets abandoned. Single mothers are always poor. You want to marry Ethan because I'm his wealthy father, don't you? I know you're just after the money.
Ethan's father glared at Mandy and I as if we were filth.
Too bad for you. I won't be giving Ethan a single dime. All of my assets are for Kevin.
Kevin, Ethan's brother, nodded in agreement with a smug grin on his face.
Someone from a single-parent household is just right for a loser like Ethan. If she was for Kevin, we wouldn't want her low-class bloodline. I'd have rejected her immediately. But for Ethan, it's fine. Marry him or whatever. I don't care.
The insults lit a fire inside me. I could handle it if it was just me, but I couldn't stand seeing Mandy and Ethan get insulted too. I was about to stand up and retort when
Is that okay with you? Saying all that,
Mandy's words held me back.
I use your bank, you know. After all this, I can't keep my account there. I'll move my savings. Are you okay with that?
Mandy challenged Ethan's family with a threatening tone, but they burst into crude laughter.
We won't have any problem if a young lady like you closes your account. Go ahead.
Moving your savings? How much, like 10 cents?
Mom, the fees would cost more than the balance.
The three of them laughed uproariously, tears streaming down their faces, but Mandy watched them with cold eyes.
That's fine, right? Got it? Don't come crying to us later. Ethan, Mom, let's go.
We left the restaurant, leaving the still laughing trio behind. Once outside, Ethan immediately apologized.
I'm so sorry. I'm utterly ashamed to have a family like that. Tears filled Ethan's eyes.
If you want to break off our engagement after this, I wouldn't blame you.
Don't say that, Ethan. I'd never break our engagement.
Mandy said forcefully, lifting Ethan's face. Even if you wanted to break it off, I won't let you. You're definitely marrying me.
Mandy.
Seeing them getting lost in their own world, I deliberately cleared my throat to get in between them.
Well, Mandy is not marrying that family. She's marrying you.
Karen.
If you're up for it, you could even be adopted into our family. If you never want to see your family again, that's totally fine. I'm sorry for insisting on that meet and greet. I guess I was being too optimistic.
It's not Ethan who should apologize. It's me. The assumption that families understand each other was misguided. Feeling disappointed in my own naive perception, I slumped my shoulders.
Our family is the one at fault.
No, the fault lies with me.
Enough, both of you. How about we all go grab a bite to eat? I'm getting hungry.
Mandy interjected, settling our argument. Exchanging a wry smile, Ethan and I agreed. Later, the three of us enjoyed a pleasant meal together.
Speaking of which, Mandy, you're really going to transfer that money?
Yes, I plan to.
That bank is going to have a tough time.
Half a month after the tumultuous meeting, Mandy and Ethan arrived at our home looking a bit weary.
Mom, we're back.
We hope we're not intruding.
What's wrong? You both look exhausted.
Actually, we came to discuss something with you, Mom.
The story they shared was indeed surprising. As she'd promised, Mandy had closed out the bank account under Ethan's father's bank. She transferred a whopping $1 billion from her account to another bank. Considering the enormous sum, she'd informed the bank of her intent to close the account a few days in advance over the phone. Given the staggering amount involved in the closure, Ethan's father had come to the bank.
He was shocked to see me. He asked, "How does a young lady like you have such wealth?" So I explained everything to him from scratch.
This money combines what I've earned and my dad's inheritance.
My husband was an entrepreneur who built a massive transport company from scratch. This job market is quite profitable. After he passed away and I took over as CEO, the company faced some challenges. However, thanks to our dedicated employees who had supported him, the business is now thriving. And our daughter Mandy seemed to have inherited her father's entrepreneurial skills. During her high school years, she founded a company and launched a youth-oriented brand, which turned out to be a huge success. After stabilizing the business, she sold the youth brand to a major corporation. Now she runs a brand for adults. Many who were fans of Mandy's brand during their student days have grown up and continue to patronize her brand for adults. With such loyal customers, her business seems to be on a steady path. But had Ethan's family not known about Mandy's status as a major depositor before the meeting? Curious, I asked.
That's on me. I haven't been in proper touch with my family for years. When I asked them to meet Mandy, I tried telling them about her, but my dad wasn't interested and didn't listen.
Plus my name is pretty common, right? So, they probably didn't make the connection.
I see, so that's what happened.
So you successfully transferred the money?
Of course he was begging, but I closed the account anyway. Sorry, Ethan, but seeing the guy who insulted me as a young lady begging and crying was somewhat satisfying.
Ethan gave a wry smile, saying it was no big deal.
And actually, I'd always planned to close that account at that bank. The transfer went smoothly.
Really?
There's been some talk among fellow business owners.
Ethan's father had been the bank's CEO for about a decade. Since he took over, It seems the bank had been making some risky moves without considering the financial strength. Consequently, the bank's financial situation had become quite strained in recent years. Given this backdrop, Mandy's decision to close her account would undoubtedly hit the bank hard.
My older brother is set to be the next CEO. My parents boasted proudly, but I think the bank will probably go under before he takes over.
Ethan's prediction hit the mark. Just 6 months later, the bank declared bankruptcy. Even though it was a local community bank, it had a significant negative impact on many people. And then Ethan's father was arrested for embezzlement. It seems Ethan's mother and his brother are now homeless. The other day, a rather scruffy-looking man came to our job interview. It turned out to be Ethan's brother when he realized I was the president of the company.
You took in my brother, so hire me.
He exclaimed unbelievably. Upon hearing this, the employees were livid and kicked Ethan's brother out unanimously. Our tough-looking driver warned him, "Don't ever show your face here again," so I doubt we'll have any more dealings with him. Ethan also received a request for financial assistance from his mother, but if you keep bothering us, I'll hire a lawyer. He threatened. After that, the contact abruptly stopped. Later on, Ethan and Mandy got married. Ethan became a son-in-law, and they both seemed to be living together happily. Seeing them reminds me of my husband, and it fills my heart with joy. I genuinely hope they can have a blissful married life just like my husband and I did.